So, Liam, how to get the area of a triangle? Do we want deep or meaningful understanding? I'm thinking no. I just want the basics, okay? We're not going back to the very beginning of what to do. And you remember what I said about using two numbers and which numbers are used and why? We want two numbers that meet in right angles. So it's not about the middle because they can be anywhere. Two numbers that meet in right angles. So if you look at this one, the 7.7 and the 10, that line is that length, meets in a right angle with that one. So we're going to use those two. So when we get in the area of a triangle, I took our formula, but I'm going to deliberately avoid the formula for a moment. So we know we're going to go 10 times 7.7 without using a formula. But what have we got with this shape? Normally, if I had a rectangle, I'd go all the way up to there, all the way across to there, and all the way down to there. You okay with that? So, but we haven't got the whole of the rectangle. How much of the rectangle have we got? Now think of simple numbers like these, watch. Most people think of a half, oops, don't have time, a half and a third and a quarter, or maybe 2/3. Educated guess, how much do you reckon we got? Half. So, why do so many people have trouble with this? It's a half by 10 by the 7.7. A lot of people have trouble with it. So Lee, before you pop in your calculator, before you do this, have a look up for a second. You're allowed to half one of those, not both. So I could have written it this way if I wanted to. I could have gone 10 times the 7.7 and then half it. I could have also said 10 by the 7.7 and divide it by 2. Doesn't matter which way I write it. Now, when it says divide by 2, I divide one of those by 2. And what's nice is one of them's really obvious, which is the 10. Divide the 10 by 2 and you get 5 by 7.7. Now, at that point, pick up your calculator for me. I could work it out by hand, but I'd rather you tell me what it is. 38.5. 38.5. And just remember if it's centimetres, I put centimetres with a little square on. Now, here's some students. This might be you. Some students just memorise a formula and they put the right numbers in the right place. So if I had the half there, what's between the half and the b? So in algebra, when we write two letters or a letter and a number together, it's a times in between. Which one's the base?
10.
10. And the height is?
7.7.
7.7. Now if I want to, some people prefer to go that times that and then divide by 2. Most of the time, you don't get nice numbers like 10. So there is an advantage to going that by that. You right? When we multiply by 10, the decimal moves 1. All it means is move we're going to move the decimal 1. So then I got a half times by, what's that? So you do on your calculator, 10 by 7.7?
77.
Let's have a look what happened. The decimal moved once, and all that bit there just becomes 77. So then, but you know, if you're doing it and you've got your calculator, do it all in one go. Answer is?
38.5.
38.5. So let's go to this one then. I'm going to go for the formula people first. And they just go, a triangle's half the base times the height, half times by what's the base of that question? Is it the 10 or is it the 4.5?
10.
Yeah, and if I put other numbers here, like if I did extra numbers here and extra numbers there, would the extra numbers throw you off? Lots of people do, but wouldn't throw you off that.
Yeah.
So the base is the 10, the two numbers are median right angles, and the other one's the 4.5. So I can show you this in seconds, okay? Then you can pick up your calculator if you wanted to. I'm going to show you for a second though. 10 times the number means move the decimal once. So that whole bit there is just 45. So you could get this in a non-calculator section, and they can expect you to go half of 45 and move the decimal once. Answer is?
22.5.
Yeah, and then we've got kilometres, so we go kilometres squared. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, so we can twist them around. I didn't give you a munted triangle like one of the weird looking ones. I haven't given you right angle ones either yet. So that can come later.